Anyone can get jacked naturally, regardless of your genetics. You just have to do the right things. I've cut through the BS of the fitness industry and figured out the 5 things that actually works as a natural to build a great physique. Most people mess up on at least one of these, if not all to a degree, which is why they'll never achieve their dream physique. So watch this video to the end to get the best results. The first thing is programming and training, which is the foundation of what builds muscle. And it's the first step most people mess up on. You need to take training seriously. You need to train hard. Most people don't train hard enough, so after they get through their newbie gains, their growth stagnates and they just blame it on their genetics, when in reality, it's because they don't train hard enough. If you don't train hard enough, it doesn't matter how good your programming is, you're not going to build much muscle. You need to train close, if not to failure, on all of your lifts. Heavy compound lifts like squats and deadlifts should go close to failure, around 1 to 3 reps away from failure, while movements like lateral raises can go to failure on most, if not every set you do. You need to stimulate the muscles for them to actually grow. If you're new to the gym or coming back from a deload, then it's not going to take as much for your muscles to grow. But if you're more advanced, you're going to need to train harder and harder to stimulate the muscles to grow. Next, you need to make sure you're following a good training split. In a good training split, you train the muscles at least twice a week. So unless you're a newbie, I don't recommend doing the bro split. Also, your split needs to match your experience level. If you're new to the gym, then you can get away with training push-pull legs 6 days a week. But as you get more advanced, as your lifts get heavier and heavier, you're going to need more days off for your joints to recover. So training 4 to 5 days a week is going to be more optimal for more advanced trainees. Especially as a natural, you're going to need more time to recover compared to people that take steroids. So as people get more advanced, switching from a 6-day week split to a 4 to 5 day week split is going to be more optimal for more advanced natural trainees. Also, as you progress in your training, you're going to need to design your training split around your weak points. So for me, my arms are a weak point relative to my chest and back, which is why I switched from a push-pull legs to the Arnold split, which has its own arm day. If you're a newbie, then weak point training doesn't really apply to you since your whole body's weak. So just pick a split and stick to it till you reach intermediate level. Lastly, pick a split that is sustainable for you. Building muscle as a natural takes many years before you can build a truly impressive physique. So sustainability becomes one of the most important parts of training. You need to have a long-term mindset about training and train in a way that is sustainable for you. As a natural, time and consistency is on your side. The truly impressive physiques are not built after months of training, but after years. So be patient, do the right things, and you will build a truly impressive physique. Also, I shouldn't have to say this, but track your progress at the gym. You can do this easily with your notes app or write it down in a notebook. Make sure you track the weight you use and the reps and sets you do on each exercise to make sure you're actually progressing. The next massive thing holding most people back is their diet. Most people don't understand nutrition and what they need to eat to truly build muscle and be healthy. There's a lot of conflicting information about which diet is better than the other. Your diet doesn't matter as much, whether it's vegetarian or more animal-based. You can find success with many different types of diets. What matters is that it's sustainable, it's reasonably healthy, you're hitting your caloric goals, whether you're trying to bulk, cut, or maintain, and you're hitting your protein goals. For protein, you need to hit roughly 1 gram of protein per body weight. Unless you're obese, then that's 1 gram of protein per goal body weight. The best sources of protein come from animal sources like meat, eggs, and milk, which is why for most people, eating a vegan and vegetarian diet is not going to be as sustainable. Not to mention the micronutrient deficiencies that tend to come with these diets, especially the vegan diet. That's why I believe in more of an animal-based diet. Though again, a vegetarian diet can work for you if it is sustainable for you. An animal-based diet is where you eat mostly meat, fruit, organs, honey, white rice, dairy if you can tolerate dairy. You avoid things like seeds, grains, ultra-processed foods, and in general, hitting your protein goals is much easier on this diet. The reason why most people fail their diets is because they don't use progressive overload with how they eat, meaning they go on an unsustainable diet, inevitably fall off and go back to their old eating habits. You need to slowly change and improve your diet over time, slowly adding in more protein, preferably from animal sources, till you reach your protein goals. Slowly cutting out the ultra-processed foods and replacing them with better options, and steadily moving to your ideal body fat. Eating healthy is important for your diet to be sustainable so you don't have micronutrient deficiencies. But to actually build muscle, you need to eat enough protein in bulk. The only way to truly build muscle as a natural is to bulk for extended periods of time. The longer you bulk, the more muscle you'll build. You should get up to 20% body fat, but don't go more than that because then you'll start to actually get fat. Also, you can't really build muscle and lose fat at the same time unless you're already obese or you're very new to the gym. People have the idea that you can be shredded and build muscle, but being lean and building muscle are opposite goals. I'm not saying you need to get fat and dirty bulk, but if you want to build muscle, you need to go through cycles of cutting and bulking. The idea that you can main gain, which is staying lean while building muscle, is not going to be realistic for most people without obsessively counting your calories. And even then, your progress is going to be slower than it needs to be. As far as counting calories goes, you don't need to count calories, and for most people, it's not going to be sustainable to do so. If you want to lose weight, you need to cut out the ultra-processed, calorie-dense foods and replace them with more satiating, higher protein foods like meat, eggs, and avoid pasta, bread, and white rice. If you want to gain weight, then eat more white rice, drink more milk and other liquid calories, like from a homemade weight gainer shake. To sum up, you need to eat in a calorie surplus, eat healthy, eat sustainably, and don't main gain. The last major thing that most people mess up on is recovery and supplements. When you go to the gym is when you stress the muscle, but it's when you come home, when you eat, when you sleep, when you recover, when the muscle actually grows. I'm not going to talk about sleep very much because most people already know that you're going to need at least 8 hours of sleep each night. For some people, it's going to be more like 9-10 hours of sleep. What matters most is that you get enough rest between each workout, so your joints and muscles can recover before you train that same body part again. You don't have to be 100% recovered before you train that same muscle again. It's okay to train your muscles when it's a bit sore, but in general, you don't want to train when you're sore, at least not regularly. Also, if you get injured in the gym, which if you train long enough, you'll occasionally tweak your lower back or your shoulder, it's important to address these issues before it gets worse. Of course, properly scheduling your deloads, which if you don't know, a deload is when you take a week off from the gym, or still go to the gym, but train very, very, very light, and allow your body to heal from all the stress that you've accumulated from weeks and months of training. But it only applies to you if you follow the first step and you're actually training hard in the first place. But aside from deloads to deal with overall fatigue, directly addressing the injury by doing rehab work is very important. You don't have to go to a physical therapist if you get injured. In fact, I've never gone to one. Go on YouTube and search for your specific injury, like shoulder pain when overhead pressing, for instance. And there's going to be great exercises and stretches on how to deal with that. My favorite channel to go to when I get a slight injury is called Squat University, who easily saved me many, many hours of physical therapy. You can save time and money by going on YouTube, so don't waste your money. Also, going on walks and generally being active will heal your injuries massively, especially your lower back. I can't tell you the amount of times that my lower back was absolutely messed up, and just by walking and not sitting down, my lower back pain almost went away entirely. If your back is messed up, sitting is one of the worst things that you could do, which sucks if you're in school or work a desk job so you have to sit all day. So keep in mind, if you can stand up and move around, it's way better even if it hurts. Lastly, to avoid an injury, a lot of it is just proper form. It may sound embarrassing for some people, but I'd recommend filming yourself, at least occasionally when you're working out, to make sure that your form is on point. If you're new to an exercise, then filming yourself regardless is going to be important. But even if you're more advanced, occasionally filming yourself just to make sure that your form is perfect is always good. On some exercises like the curl, you can cheat on your form a little bit within reason, but when it comes to exercises like the squat and deadlift, you really are not going to want to cheat on your form at all, because cheating on your form on the squat is going to be way more dangerous than cheating on your form on like the lateral raise. You don't really risk getting injured on the lateral raise too much as compared with the squat. For supplements, the only supplement I would recommend is creatine, protein powder, vitamin D, and pre-workout. Creatine is probably the most researched supplement. It's safe, it makes your muscles fuller, and is scientifically proven to help you put on muscle. I'm not going to get into the science of it, but just know that it works, and if you're not taking it, I'd recommend taking it. Protein powder is also a no-brainer. You don't technically need protein powder, in that you should try to get your protein from Whole Foods, but it makes getting your protein way easier, and it's very convenient to use protein powder. So I'd recommend a high-quality whey protein isolate without too many ingredients and harsh chemicals. Also, don't mess around with the plant-based proteins unless you're vegan, because it's not going to be as good as a whey protein. and they tend to be more processed. Also, vitamin D is going to be a very good supplement because most people are deficient in vitamin D, and it's a very, very important vitamin for the body. So if you're indoors all day, or it's winter time, then I definitely recommend vitamin D. Lastly, pre-workout allows you to push yourself harder in the gym as it gives you that extra energy. Pre-workout can be great if you're a bit tired or you're trying to hit a PR. The only thing with pre-workout is to make sure you don't abuse it. One of the most important ingredients in pre-workouts is caffeine, and your body can build up a tolerance to caffeine, so I'd recommend cycling your pre-workout. So don't take it every single day, and if you do, take a break occasionally to resensitize your body to it. I'll link some of my favorite high quality supplements that I use in the description. If you want to click the link and help the channel, it'll help more than you'll realize. I make videos on self-improvement and related topics, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. That's all I got. See ya.